Hello, and good morning. I come to you all in a great time, in a time in which we have something very important to talk about. Something that I could have never expected would turn out the way it did. Today we're going to talk about good for you, and only good for you, because this is not hyperbole. This is not like a joke that I'm doing on Twitter. I have not connected with a song since Downtown. I really haven't. And the craziest thing was when Downtown really dominated my life. Downtown was made by an act that I loved, who came back after a long hiatus, long in pop terms, and I was excited to see their new thing. And it was the best pop song I'd ever heard. Today we're going to talk about something that I did not expect to dominate my life. And yes, this is going to be a little bit different. Usually I have big list formats and, big sweeping ideas. But today we're just going to talk about a song that is everything to me in a time that I was not ready to believe that I was going to receive a song that was everything to me. So I'm going to break this up into parts and talk about how Good For You has ruled my life since it hit number one on the Billboard Hot 100. Our game footage today is all of the extra footage that I have from redactions. I think it would be just easiest for me to find a place for this to go, rather than trying to restart a new project and then have all of this footage sitting in the background. But who the fuck cares? Today we're talking about Good For You. So I want to talk about the very first time I heard this song. So it's June, and we're getting pretty close to so far time. So right before we entered June, I was kind of in the middle of editing redactions, and I thought, I need to start working on that so far list. And the only way to do that and effectively outline it at work is I need to have the list itself formed. What I started doing was looking at 1 month of a Billboard Hot 100, seeing what was there, giving it a listen if I hadn't heard it before, because a little spoiler for that video, I found it kind of hard to form one of those lists, so I actually really needed extra help. So I did that. Usually I don't do that for the so far video because it's a lot easier for me to just form the stuff. I'm rambling. I'm sorry that I'm rambling. The important part of this was that it was a Tuesday. And I was actually working late enough that the new Billboard Hot 100 was up. And number one sits another Olivia Rodrigo song. And I like Driver's License. You've seen it before. I think it's a 3 out of 5. I think it's above average. It's a good song. Deja Vu, I don't really share the same thoughts on. I think Deja Vu is kind of iterative and the same thing as Driver's License, except kind of in a different light. Not bad, because it's produced pretty well, but still just kind of another Driver's License. So then I saw Good For You, and I can't go without talking about a number one on a so far if I think it's anything to talk about. So, of course, I listened to it, and I think it was funny because I was kind of preparing lunch, so I kind of walked away from the computer a little bit with my headphones on, and it was the same. It is once again a song about Olivia getting over this man, this Disney man, whoever his name is. I've already forgotten and I don't care. And I remember just letting out this really defeated and angry sigh. 'Cause once again, we're just doing the same thing. And I don't like watching artists repeat themselves over and over and over again. I want them to try something new, to keep moving. And here was Good For You doing the same thing again. It sounded fine, but I was just about to put it on a worse list because it's the third song to do the same thing. And then I heard those drums intro into the chorus. Right there is a shocking and massive different color and texture from what I'm used to hearing in pop music. Already, I'm hearing somebody slam a drum kit. And my ears perked up. And this moment is 1 second long. It's 1 second, but the chorus has been introduced by a slamming drum note. And then I hear the guitars, and I stop moving. I am now unable to prepare lunch. I'm unable to start getting the materials that I need. I have stopped moving in the kitchen because now the chorus is flowing over me. Goosebumps everywhere. All of a sudden, I'm blown away in an instant by this chorus that is driving home so hard and is so electric, so full of energy and life that I haven't experienced in such a long time. And taken aback, I'm sitting there, and at the moment, I can't put my finger on what makes it so good, and we'll talk about that in a few minutes. But that's it. I mean, I knew what my number one was the instant I heard that. I hear that chorus, it's done. It's over. I don't have a competition anymore. I know what song rules harder than any other song I'm going to hear. And fine, I am the boring rock man. So fucking what? This is a flavor that I've craved for so long, and here it is. She just did it. No warning. I didn't know about it before seeing it on the Hot 100, and clearly it had to have some kind of marketing or pull to make it to number one. So, I mean, other people knew about it. I hadn't heard it on the radio yet. Bing, bam, boom, here it is, and my mind's blown. Once you get out of the first chorus, then I'm just listening to the song, and I'm thinking, no, it's all corrected. All of my gripes, all of my hatred, it doesn't matter. We have now entered music before lyrics territory. This is what I want to hear. The lyrics, I don't fucking care anymore. If it's gonna sound this goddamn good, I'm there. I'm 100% there. She could read a grocery list of this guy's problems and how much he's hurt. She could put in the lyrics to Driver's License again. I wouldn't care. It's amazing. It's fucking amazing. Thank you. Not only does it borrow from rock pastiches, fucking improves on them. It does other things. And I'm gonna go element by element here soon also. But as I'm going, it's getting better and better and better. And I just cannot believe what I'm hearing. The number one song in the country is incredible. I believe that over the next hour sitting there, I was trying to watch a podcast that I've recently gotten into, and I kept pausing the podcast and replaying the YouTube video of Good For You. I had to do it. It was now running this euphoric elation that I could never expect to get out of my stupid 2021 pop music. I just listened to it 4 times. I had to. I wanted to know more. I wanted to hear it more. I wanted to get more into it. Mainly, I wanted to ride that high even more, which, of course, I did, because every time that chorus hits, fucking goosebumps. Instantly. My hair stands on its head. It just sounds so good. And I could just call it so good forever. But you know what? I'd rather describe one thing at a time what I love about it. I'm a very big fan of every harmonic note that enters into the song, which happens a lot. Olivia harmonizes with herself many times in this song, and it works a lot. Probably the best towards the end of the song. She kind of uses it as a power statement, but I love every bit of her harmonizing. And with her, I love the amount of anger that is in every second of this, because Olivia Rodrigo is a kid, and she's not trying to avoid that. She's playing into it. And usually, that would be a terrible thing. My number one worst song of the year is exactly that. But Olivia Rodrigo is not above anything. She's making the caliber of music that you would expect her to make. She used a team appropriately to put out that message. Her anger is 100% justified here. It's great. It's exactly what I want to hear. She's not mincing words. She's pissed and sad and broken. And that's what the song's fucking about. The first verse before the chorus is pretty serviceable. It's acceptable. That's the thing. I didn't like it because I don't like artists repeating themselves. If they're just going to do the same thing over and over again, it's not okay. But in a grander scale, when it's a part of this, it's fine because then when you get hit with the chorus, it hits you so much harder than it would have if you were expecting some grandiose chorus to hit you, which I didn't. I wasn't expecting it at all. And then those drums come in. And let's talk about the fucking drums. Who tuned these drums? It's wild. I think that I talk about drum tuning a lot more than I should because I find it really fascinating. Like, I have a few albums in my life that I love in which I can look at the drums and say, why did that happen? Todd talked about Saint Anger. What makes your snare drum sound like that is if you over-tighten your heads. That's what happens. I have Gordon by the Bare Naked Ladies, one of my favorite albums of all time, and throughout the entire album, I forgot the drummer of the Bare Naked Ladies. My bad. But it's the same thing. Not to the scale of Saint Anger, but it sounds high, and it's kind of ringy, and not great. And these drums here are kind of the opposite. They're a little loose, they sound a little low-key, and that only comes on 16th note fills, which, God do I love straight 16th note snare fills. One of my favorite things to just do. It sounds flat and white, and I love it, because it's just a man just swinging his arms to his content, and I like to imagine myself in that throne doing that same thing, and I love it. I love it every time. It's not the greatest rudiment, it's not the hardest rudiment, but it is something that makes me smile. And the drums here are great. I'm waiting for this shit to come on Rock Band 4. When am I going to get this on Rock Band 4? I need this on Rock Band 4, please. Heat Waves, go die. Sorry, I was skipping around the chorus there. The chorus is magic. It's raw, pure magic. One of the best I've heard in many years of talking about pop music. What I do equate it to is Rock Band in general. There are a lot of songs that have very similar syncopated straight 8th note guitar riffs that then end in that quick 16th note riff going into the beat. You hear it a lot. It's a good staple. I like it. What's good is that they layer that for the first half of the chorus, and then they bring in a more melodic guitar once it gets to the second half. And then your goosebumps, they stand a little taller. They have the hair come a little bit straighter out on your arm because you're just feeling this band fucking rocking it, and Olivia fucking singing the exact melody that I wanted her to, even if I wasn't asking for it, even if I wasn't ready for it. All of a sudden, here it is, and I love it. So with a chorus, it's that majestic. Once you get to the other side of it, then you're in a verse, and you're happy to be there now. Now you want to see where it goes. You're excited. So what the fuck is up with that? Ooh, what a great moment. How good. And even when I'm listening to any part of this, I'm always thinking about the video. The video is not great on its own. It's just a revenge jealousy video that even repeats shots if you look at it. There's the shot where the cheerleaders behind her do that waving arm thing at her when she's got her arms crossed and she's sitting in front of them. They do that shot twice in the video. I noticed it. I noticed it. I've watched the video fucking 100 times. But the imagery sticks with it. And you just see her staring straight through at you, magnified. And I just think of her saying that. And then, right after she hits you with that fucking great line, she fucking laughs in the middle of her delivery. And it's so perfect. Guys, I don't know if you know this, but I like Good For You. I think it's a pretty good song. And I've caught it a few times, because when you listen to a song as many times as you do, you start to notice the little things, even on a car radio. I noticed that there's like a little bit of extra guitar work going on in the second verse. It's really high and hard to notice, but if you have like headphones on, then you hear it every time, and it's complimentary and weird, but setting you up to her anxiety and frustration about being left in this pit of despair that this fucker's put her in. I don't even want to call him this fucker. It doesn't work like that. I'll talk about the song in general right now. This song is win, win, win. Olivia wins, this dude wins, we win. Because this dude, it sounds like he's doing great. Everything's just really good for him. Literally, he sounds like the world is his oyster. So that's good. Olivia gets a #1 hit song about this while shouting into a void, very angry about what's happening. But, I mean, you know, at least it brought her success. It's great. Fuck, I think it's the best pop song in the last 6 years. I mean, pretty fucking great. And we win because it sounds fucking phenomenal. And if anything, she picked the right people to help her produce it, because God, is it good. It's so fucking good. So that's good for you in general. And same thing, man. You just get right back into that chorus, and it's the same as the first time. Which, why wouldn't it be? You just want to fucking hear it again. You want to hear it over and over and over again. There doesn't have to be some kind of ambitious switch or some extra guest artist or some rap feature to make this better. It's just a fucking rock song. It's a great rock song. It's like top 100 worthy. Yeah, already. I'll fucking say it. I think this is gonna breach my top 100. Why wouldn't it? I love it. I love it so much. And then the guitar solo. I mean, you know, it's supposed to be a guitar solo, but then it turns out that it's literally just the second half of the chorus again, and then she just sings over it. That is the ultimate power move. I've never seen that happen before, where you're clearly leading into a guitar solo, and she's like, no, I'm just gonna sing over this, because I'm not having a good time. This sucks. Good for you, dick. And then she just keeps repeating that same line in that bridge before she gets back to the chorus. And yeah, it's real. That's the best thing I can fucking say about it. It's just a genuine moment in which she's like, well, you know, I think I'm overreacting, but I don't care. You're a dick. Apathy is a fucking horrible thing. I get it. Apathy is for sure the worst. I hate apathy. I know that personally I've been an offender of over-aggressive apathy, and it's not okay. It sucks. It's terrible. And it's a word that I like a lot. That works its way into making her be more justified in this entire situation. It's completely fair that she feels this way because all of this happens, and then you get into the last chorus, and she drops out everything but a fucking guitar. Like, do you know me, Olivia? Do you know exactly what I want to hear? It's exactly like Rockstar, where fucking everything drops out and it crushes the bass, and it's wonderful. But it's a fucking rock song. So I love it. Of course, I'm going to listen to it as much as I can. Of course, I've been listening to it for years already. We're almost there. And she just brings it home. And maybe the best thing about the song is that it ends on the exact same line it starts with, really great, and the song pace is really perfect if you just put it on repeat. So that's what I would recommend right now, is that, you know, if you haven't listened to this song twice in a row, just do it. Maybe this is Spotify being perfect, but literally the pacing on the Spotify edition works that you have a perfect break, and then that bass comes back in, and you're just there again. So yes, exactly like Downtown, exactly like Wow by Beck, I have been listening to this song on repeat for the last 3 to 4 weeks. And what else could I ever want a song to sound like if it's going to be a #1 song on the Billboard Hot 100? Yep, it is Misery Business by Paramore. Is that a problem? No. Because are you ready to hear my controversial opinion? It's better than Misery Business by Paramore. It is. It really is. And again, I'm the guy who will always say that music is being perfected over time. You can advance music to be better. And while this isn't a start-to-finish rock song the way that Misery Business is, its pop edge is what I want more. And maybe it might be because I'm not a huge fan of Hayley Williams, the badass. I'm a fan of Hayley Williams, the reflective, broken human being. She can convey emotional weakness better than most, and Misery Business, I'm kind of annoyed by that she's the awesome person. And kind of the same thing with the video, is I picture Hayley Williams standing up to that bitch in the video like, oh, you think you're so bad? Well, I'm so bad. And I'm like, yeah, Misery Business is a 10 out of 10. It's a phenomenal song. It's fucking Misery Business. This is better. This is what I'd rather hear. I want the more processed pop guitars. I like that better than the harder edged emo rock from 06, 07, somewhere around there's Riot. Like, fuck it. I don't even want to go into comparisons. I think that this is the reason that I thought of Good For You as the Rock Band song, because I thought, you know, a lot of songs kind of format like this. Like, Blink guitars usually do the same type of thing when they go into verses, and Misery Business is the same thing in the chorus, other than the fact that it hits just quarter notes in the end of the chorus, which is why I think that this chorus is better than that chorus. I love this song. I love this song to death. Misery Business is not on my top 100. This will be. And, you know, things that I love, the song's not perfect. I'll go back to point number 1. This was Olivia's third single that was talking about the same fucking thing once again. How could you do this to me, man? I love you, man. How could you do this to me? Like, it's annoying. Like, write something else, Olivia. But as a Lyrics Last guy, I don't fucking care. I don't care that she did this. If she made every song sound like this, I wouldn't do a top 10 best songs at the end of the year, because it would just be Olivia songs. Again, a lot of the snare hits are a little shallow. The intro is kind of weak. When she's bringing the chorus home and she has those quarter note phrases, I can't tell you what she's saying. And I've listened to the song hundreds of times. I have no idea what she's saying. Still, I haven't looked it up on Google, but like, enunciate a little better. I know it's a fun American thing to just kind of blurt out your words in the middle of your rock song, but what the fuck are you saying? Spend the night. Like, that's what it sounds like to me. God, what else? What else? I don't like that Butter's a number 1. That's bullshit about Good For You. I don't like that people don't like the song as much as I do. Let's be fair, it's still setting streaming records, which, I mean, I'm for sure personally responsible for. But, I mean, it has to have something to do with that album it came off of, right? Maybe I'm too emotional. I don't like Sour. I tried it. I listened to the whole thing. I don't like it. Mainly from the same argument that I keep saying. It's the same thing for an entire 11-song album. She can't get over this guy. Okay, Olivia. Now we're back to a Shinko again. Yeah, you're a badass. Okay, you're a I get... you gonna do something else? Do you want to do something else with the concept? Like, maybe you're a badass in a different way. Maybe you're not over this guy in a way that you can express in different words. It's like an interesting concept. And I think she kind of tries to do that, but it doesn't work. It's the same thing over and over again. And you know what the worst offense of Sour is that no song sounds like this on the album. None of them. They're all very simple, very easy to understand where all the elements are, which even Good For You is like that. You can hear every instrument in the mix very obviously, just like every other song that she has on the album, except they're way more sparse and they're not rock based. They're basically really simple piano or really acoustic-y guitar. And yeah, Kid Laroi has made that a fucking staple of the radio at this point, but it doesn't work. I don't want to listen to this album ever. I'll tell you right now, I like Driver's License. I fucking love this to death. Jealousy, Jealousy, pretty good song. That's it. Don't listen to the album. The album's not worth your time. It really is not that good. It just sucks that this is the album that everybody's talking about and then it's so exciting when Olivia Rodrigo is this up-and-coming talent. Maybe you never cared at all. I've heard people compare Olivia Rodrigo to Billie Eilish. I think there's a lot of hype. I'm not sold yet. Not even a little sold yet. I think Olivia Rodrigo has made a good name for herself as a 6 out of 10 artist. The best thing I've seen her do so far in her career is imitate Hayley Williams, definitely become more into her work because of the fact that she's a young person and she's expressing herself to the best that she knows, and making an album that is boringly the same from start to finish. So, Our hype about Olivia, probably completely undeserved so far. I'm not going to say that I definitely won't check out her next album, because she for sure managed to make a song that revolutionized the way that I use Spotify, and for sure has guaranteed that at the end of this year, I will actually have a definitive song I listen to most in the year, and not just randomly some pop song from 2010. Heck, maybe I'll be in the top 0.0000001% of Olivia Rodrigo fans, just because I listened to her one song more than a human being has listened to Sour. But let's relax, let's calm down. She is no Billie Eilish. Billie Eilish's new album is soon. God, am I excited. Her next album, we'll see where it goes. But I think our excitement should be held within the one song that we're seeing, other than everything else. Because personally, I don't think she's ever going to make anything better than this. It's very, very possible that that's what's going to happen. So all we have basically to talk about left is what this means. And what this means for me is that I have a number one best song of 2021. I don't need to mince words. I don't need to believe anything other than what's going to happen. This is going to be my number one song of this year. Only once in my life have I been led astray by such a high intensity feeling. And of course, that was 2015 when I played BioShock, figured, oh my god, there's no way anything's going to top that. And then I played Killer 7. And man, 2015 may have been the best year of me playing games ever. Rocket League came out that year. I'm telling you definitively right now, nothing is going to top this. There's no way. And I don't know. Maybe it's emotional closeness to a song so genuine, so exactly what it wanted to be, that I feel it. Currently, I still have the Spotify playlist that is just this song, and I continue to use it every once in a while. I think if I don't want to annoy people around me, I will not just play this song, but for the foreseeable future, it is still the only song I'm listening to. I do turn on the radio first to see if anything new's coming out, if I should be more excited about Kiss Me More by SZA and Doja, but it turns out no, I think I like this one. And I guess a little credit to Sour, it's doing about as well as a Common Drake album in terms of not dropping out of the Billboard Hot 100, which I guess is cool for her. Hooray, it's not this fucking song. Nothing is good for you. Nothing's ever going to be good for you. So, thank you. I was actually a little scared when I wanted to do this that I wasn't going to talk for long enough, but it seems that this will not be my shortest Patreon exclusive, but I'm happy to squeeze as much out of Good For You as I could. Now, please follow me on Twitter.